Greetings, Cap fans, and welcome to episode 80 of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast. I'm your host, Rick Verbanis. And as always, I am joined by the best gosh darn co-host out there, Mr. Bob Lucius. Hey, Bob. Party on, Bob.
Party on, Rick.
Caps World.
Excellent.
Swing.
Party time.
Oh, yes. We're a little Wayne's World there.
Oh, that's good stuff.
That was good stuff, right? That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. So why are we doing Wayne's World? Well, if you have been paying attention to the other episodes where we're covering Captain America Iron Man miniseries, you would know, and that would be episodes 71 and 75 or 76. You would know we do buddy movie quotes in the beginning because, hey, you know, we're covering some buddy comic books today. So this time we thought we'd go with Wayne's World.
It's good stuff, man.
I got a funny story about this, right? So back when that movie came out, I'm going to guess 1990. I'm going to guess 1990. I grew up in Delaware, right? Born and raised in Delaware. And I was at the University of Alabama on a national student exchange, me and my girlfriend at the time. And we were there and we went to the movies when Wayne's World came out. And we're sitting there in this movie in the heart of Alabama, right? These two carpetbaggers, Yankees,
yeah,
right? We're sitting there and all of a sudden, I don't know if you remember this scene from the movie where Wayne is showing slides from his trips over the time. And he's like, a slide would come up and he'd be like, here's me and such, right? And then he's excited about it. And here's me and such, then here's me and such. And then there's a picture that comes up of the Indian River Inlet in near Bethany Beach, Delaware. Right.
Yeah.
And he doesn't say anything, and he just kind of has this look on his face, like, you know, right. And then so there's complete silence in the theater, and I yell out, I know that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome. Every time I think of Wayne's World, I think of that.
Rich, have you seen those? Are you familiar with the Progressive insurance commercials?
Yeah,
with,
sure.
You know, with the professor.
Flo?
Yeah, but the ones with the professor who teaches people not to become their parents.
Oh, that's not Progressive. That's
isn't that Progressive? I thought it was another.
No, I thought Progressive was like Flo.
I know that. I think they have a couple different.
No, there's a different guy. All right, but yeah. Anyway, I love those commercials.
Yeah. So
hey, hold on. The marketing guy here is going, I love those commercials. I couldn't tell you the brand.
Oh, I know that's a problem, I guess, right?
I know, right?
Yeah, but they just had a new one come out, going to the movies, right? And it has, and I just think this is me, right? Because it's like everybody's like clapping, and he's like, nobody who made that film is here. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
I tell you what, man, I am totally my dad. You know.
Oh yeah, me too.
Where the car's starting to back up, and he's like helping. He's like, he didn't ask for your help. I'm like, that's totally me. That's totally me.
Yeah. Those commercials are spot on.
Oh my God. Aren't we? We are totally turning into our parents, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's scary, but it's true.
It is.
But I'd like to think, Bob, you, me, many of our listeners, we're still immature. We're still.
Oh yeah, that's it. You know it.
We're still that 15-year-old at heart.
You know it.
Right.
You know it.
I don't know if I should say this. But I think my ex-wife once said, because she knew I had a love for comics, but she had said something to the effect of that I was emotionally stunted because of my love for comics.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes. like somehow that I wasn't growing out of my adolescence.
Yes. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank
yes. Yeah, I know, right? But anyway,
it's hard. It's hard, Rick, to grow up. It's hard to acknowledge you're growing up as well. We're doing passport renewals. My wife filled out my passport application, and she came in the other day and asked me, she's like, "What color should I put down for your hair?" And I said, "Brown." That was her reaction. Right? She's like, "No, I don't think so."
Did I tell you about the time where I went to the motor vehicle to get my new license? And I don't remember if my old one was lost or whatever, but they have on file your old one and your old picture. Mm-hmm. And so this was maybe like 4 years ago, something like that. It was shortly after I shaved my head and became a bald man.
Yeah.
And the woman looking at the monitor looks at me, looks at the old picture, looks at me, and she goes, "Wow, times have been tough for you." I'm like, just take the damn picture.
I know we have a lot of listeners that are empathizing with these stories. So
yeah,
we're all getting older, folks.
Jimmy Buffett, who I love Jimmy Buffett. He's got a song. I'm going to paraphrase, but it's I'm growing older, but I won't grow up.
There you go. That's why we're here, folks.
That's why we're here. And that's why you're listening. So, we'll be getting into Captain America Iron Man #5 to finish out the mini series. And for those who are playing at home, back in episode 71, Bob and I miscalculated. We were like, oh, it's a 6-issue miniseries. We should break this up into 3 parts. So we'll just do 2, 2, and 2. And then the previous one, which was episode 76, I was like, hey, Bob, there's only 5 issues. So anyway, here we are. Yeah. We're back.
Even the pros make mistakes.
Yeah. Are we pros? Yeah. Because we're up to 3 figures on the listeners, Bob.
There you go.
Yeah. But we got a lot to cover today before we get into issue #5. We mentioned this in the last episode, and I think a lot of people came back just for this one reason only, Bob. And you know what I'm talking about, don't you? It's the winner of the contest for the 5-star reviews.
Right. Yeah. Right? We finally banged them out.
We sure did. Back in September of 2021, we said, hey, we're going to give away 3 What Would Cap Do challenge coins we're going to pick 3 of the next 10 that give us a 5-star review. We didn't quite realize it would take this long to get to 10, but we thank those who did it. And and so we're just going to randomly pick 3 winners here, and we will send out a What Would Cap Do challenge coin that we hope you would appreciate and endear. And all right, so Bob, I'm going to pick here, going into the magic hat. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. So exciting. Right.
Winner #1 is KDF 021.
Oh, KDF is one of my favorite Fs.
Yeah, I know, of all the Fs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they wrote back in October 20th, great fun show about Cap. So
short and
sweet. Right, KDF 02. No, that was their title. They had had more, Bob.
Oh.
All
It's
right.
quality over quantity, you know.
Yes. Yes. Next one. Was this one was done in February, and it was RL Sharp 77.
Nice.
And the title to their review was A Star Spangled Podcast. And then the last, are you ready, Bob?
Yep.
Number 3 is going to be Glover M25.
Oh, that's just so great. I'm so happy to hear that.
Glover M25 gave us a review also in February of this year. And they wrote in their title, Excellent Captain America Podcast. So, all right. KDF, RL Sharp, and Glover, send me an email to capcomicfans@gmail.com. That's capcomicfans@gmail.com. And send me your address, and I will go ahead and send out to you your very own What Would Cap Do challenge coin. And if you didn't win, but you do want the coin, you can get information on how to get that on our website. Go to CaptainAmericaComicBookFans.com. And on the bottom of the main page, there's a little area there that talks about the various premiums we give out to thank our patrons. So you can always sign up there and get your coin that way as well.
The only way to get it, folks.
Yeah, there was a guy on Facebook the other day because I posted, here's a picture of the people we're mailing out to. And one of the guys posted, I'd rather just pay you $15 for it. And I'm like, sorry.
No can do.
They're not for sale. They're merely gifts. So there we go. So, Bob, was there anything else we were supposed to do?
I don't know, Rick. I just can't. I'm trying to think. I'm racking my brain here. I can't remember if there was anything else.
All right, maybe we should just get to the comic then?
I feel a song in my heart, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How's that going? All right, fine, Bob. Yes. All right. So for those who may be not aware, back in January, Bob and I realized we both had the same goal of losing 10 pounds. And so I said, hey, let's motivate each other. Let's have a competition. And Bob's like, love the idea. Splendid, oh boy. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yes. And we made a wager. And the wager was the person who loses 10 pounds first picks a song for the other person to sing. And then, not the whole song, like 30 seconds, we're not going to kill our listeners. And we had some fun with this over the course of several weeks. Then Bob decided to, what'd you have, an amputation? What did you do to get the extra 5 pounds that you couldn't get?
It felt like an amputation. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then there was a little bit of controversy. Was that really the 10 pounds you were trying to lose? But you know what? We put it up. We had a little poll on the Facebook group. The people spoke. Apparently, Bob's more beloved than I am. So stings a little, Bob. But that's
sure
okay.
Did. It sure did.
Yeah. But before we get any further into this, Bob, I'm just curious, how you doing on that weight loss?
I feel pretty good. I haven't weighed myself.
You suck. I'm up to 6 pounds, Bob.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm up to 6 pounds off.
All right, I'll tell you what, Rick, I'm gonna, you know what? Because I love you, brother.
Uh-huh.
When you hit 10 pounds, I'm going to sing you a song.
Oh, no.
Oh, I am.
Really?
Oh, I am. It's going to be a celebration song for you.
Do I get to pick it?
I don't know. Maybe we can examine that. But I feel like you're going to deserve a reward.
I gotta tell you, now I'm more motivated. That's great. Thank you, Bob. Such a good guy. It's a good guy. No wonder everybody likes you more than me.
All about the team.
All right, Bob. What song did you pick again?
I believe it was "Wind Beneath My Wings."
Yes, I believe it was. All right. Now, Bob, I'm not a professional, amateur, or even like pseudo bad singer.
Yeah, nobody would ever have mistaken you for a professional.
Yes, I'm not very good. So I'm going to just tell everybody right now. Normally I don't do this, but you can go ahead and fast forward a minute.
Yeah, I'm going to close my eyes just so I can enjoy this.
Oh, no, you're going to want to watch this, Bob. You're going to want to watch this. I have a little.
Oh, a little flourish. Okay.
I do. Maybe, Bob, maybe I'll put the clip of this video on the Facebook group.
Oh, people will love that.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll have lots of listeners then.
Yeah, I tell you what, to our listeners on the Facebook page, when I post this podcast on the Facebook page, in the comment section, you can tell me if you would like to see a video of me singing this song. And, hey, if people demand it, I'll do it. I'm a giver, Bob.
The fans have to speak.
I'm a giver. Although my doctor says I'm a carrier. Oh, okay. Are we ready? Hold on. Let me take a sip of water. Got a little backup music here, Bob. Going in cold, folks. Did you ever know that you were my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. Because, Bob, you are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, Bob. But I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth, Bob. Of course I know it. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you were my hero? Yeah! You're everything I wish I could be. I could be higher than an eagle. 'Cause, Bob, you are the wind beneath my wings.
Rick, I swear to God, I closed my eyes for a minute and I thought I was listening to Neil Diamond.
Oh, that's lovely, Bob. Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were really channeling.
All right. I apologize now to everybody out there, including the dogs who are howling right now. And I also apologize that you will have this song stuck in your head for the rest of today.
Beautiful. I feel like I got a little, I'm sure it's just something in my eye. It's not a tear. It's, something.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that, Bob. I would say you deserved it or earned it, but that would be a lie.
I'm taking a class on how to be a better professor. It was the last meeting tonight. And I went there and the partner that I usually sit at.
I was going to say, like, Bob, you're not there.
Yeah. I was at a table. I shared a table, we're in groups, and the guy that I'm in my groups with, another professor, was in a little bit of a sour mood because he had prepped for his colonoscopy today, and he got there and they canceled it.
They canceled it.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, yeah, we can't do it today. Can you come back next week?"
Oh, no.
Right. I know, right? So,
that's really shitty.
Yeah. Well done. You're on fire tonight, man.
All right, shall we get to the comic, Bob?
Let's do it. People are probably very enthusiastic about us getting into the comic now.
I pretty much think they are. All right, Bob. So for Captain America Iron Man #5, this came out in March of 22. It has a cover date of May 22. And the creative team, same as before, I believe. So we have the writer, Derek Landy, penciler, Angel Unzueta, who's also inking this. The colorist is Rachel Rosenberg, letterer, Joe Caramanga, and the editors are Caitlin Linwet and Alana Smith. Now, the solicitation for this particular issue says, "The time for the final showdown has come, but nothing is as it seems. As Captain America and Iron Man race to stop the cataclysm that Veronica Eden has put in motion, they realize that they may have missed a few red flags elsewhere, and an innocent person is about to pay the price." So on the cover here, we have another beautiful Alex Ross cover, which features Captain America and Iron Man. In this case, it is it's looking from below, peering up, as a lot of times Alex Ross does. And I think it's a way to kind of show the characters, heroism, their strength, their power, right? Looking up to them almost like gods. So it's something that Alex tends to do. And we have Iron Man, who is kind of hovering with his little fire coming out of his jet boots, and a little repulsor ray kind of coming out of his hands to kind of balance him, and his it's in a night sky with some white clouds. And then we have Cap, who appears to be perched on the top of a city building, almost on a kind of a Batman or Daredevil pose, with his shield front and center.
It's gorgeous, Rick. That cover, it's gorgeous. I mean,
yeah,
it's almost photorealistic, particularly Cap. Just the face and everything about it. I love this cover, man.
All right.
See, I'm working on my emotiveness.
Yeah, keep working, Bob. For those who don't understand what Bob's talking about, we in our conversation prior to this, he was trying to give a review of something, and he was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I'll keep at it." Yeah. So now Bob's a little overdoing it.
Yeah, sorry. It's hot or cold. I blow hot or cold.
That's true what they say. All right, I'm going to read the recap since it has been a few episodes since we've covered this story. Captain America and Iron Man split up. Iron Man returned the injured alien, 51, to his old teammates, the Paladins, while Captain America tried to shut down the technological threat known as the Overseer. Forming a temporary alliance with Steve against their now mutual enemy, Veronica Eden explained that she partnered with the Senator and the Paladins to stage superheroic battles and control public sentiment. When the project's postponement dropped the Paladins out of the spotlight, they reactivated the Overseer with the intent to defeat him publicly, no matter who was caught in the crossfire, a plan that 51 has been trying to foil. But now the Paladins have 51 right where they want him, and the Overseer is about to rain hell on Minneapolis. So I don't know if that was a good enough recap, Bob. So just to remind people from this story, so 51 has been injured. Iron Man and Cap split up because Iron Man wanted to take Paladin somewhere to get medical help, he met up with the Paladins. They said, give him to us. We'll take him to, our headquarters, which was an apartment, because they apparently know how to help him because he's an alien.
Right.
So Iron Man decided to do that. Cap, meanwhile, freed Veronica Eden, and they're on the helicarrier controlled by the Overseer, but the Overseer can't see Cap because why? Captain America is wearing the Hydra Cap armor. And as long as he wears that armor, he can't be seen.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Good summary.
Opening splash. And as we were in the previous 4 issues, this story has been told from the point of view of one of the villains, Veronica Eden, who is a fun character.
Mm-hmm.
And she and Cap in the Hydra armor are battling a whole bunch of the Meridians, which are these basically armored robots that are really tough to beat. Veronica is using this particular type of armor that she was going to use as Hydra Queen, because remember she was in a battle with Zemo for the control of Hydra, and she lost. Zemo, became the leader. And so she's on something like a Green Goblin or Hobgoblin glider. She has a kind of a backpack that has Doc Ock's tentacles, and then she has as a killer weapon the scorpion tail. So it's quite the contraption. And again, from Veronica's point of view. And I'm going to read this through the next 2 pages and then stop and go back and describe the story. Has Captain America ever stopped and looked at himself in the mirror and thought, well, this is ridiculous? By the way, I don't know about you, Bob, but have you ever stopped and just really looked at Captain America's uniform and went, wow, that is pretty garish?
His I mean, not what he's wearing now, but what he wears day to day. No, but I wonder, like, how does he keep the wings from like getting all crumpled, from taking it on and off? I often wonder that, because I can't even keep like a baseball cap in good shape for more than like a month and a half before it starts to look all saggy and stuff. But I'm like, if I had wings on it, like how do they stay so pristine all the time?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've often wondered that.
I've never thought that. But I have thought of how, and I've in various comics, throughout the decades, it has been brought up, like, you look ridiculous draped in a flag, and we as Captain America fans have always just kind of, I don't think we've ever given it really a second thought.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I will look at it and go, yeah, he just stands out like a sore thumb. Like, well, here's
the thing, Rick. I visit a lot of those Captain America cosplay Facebook pages, and what I've always found is there are some people who pull it off, and you go, it just looks great on him, and then there's some people who just don't. And I think Steve Rogers has always benefited from the fact that he looks good in that.
Yeah, that's true.
He pulls it off, so that uniform sings with him in it.
You know what I can't pull off? That would be singing. I think I've proven that.
Yeah.
Has Captain America ever stopped and looked at himself in the mirror and thought, well, this is ridiculous? Is there ever a day when the sheer burden of perfection threatens to overwhelm him? Or is his perfection enough to provide protection from that particular existential crisis? This is a man who, just a relatively short while ago, was scrubbed from existence and replaced with a version of himself who wore that Hydra armor happily. Then he returned and carried on. scarcely missing a beat. It's not the man I object to. The man is a good and honorable one. It's what the man can do. And it's how those abilities would manifest in someone who wasn't quite so virtuous. Virtue, of course, being a subjective quality. Are you virtuous, Tony, with how you've treated people, with how you've treated yourself? You're a good man trying to be better, but your arrogance and the arrogance of all your superpowered friends have blighted this world. The rest of us are never going to step up if you and your lot ensure that we never have to. What do you think of that statement, Bob?
It's interesting. As you were reading that, I was thinking about Cap, right? And she does lump Cap in with, superheroes broadly. But I mean, in the grand scheme of superheroes, there are many, including, Cap has peak human, physical, and some would say as well, intellectual strength as a result of the super soldier serum. But he's no Thor, right? He's no Hulk. He's no Spider-Man, right? He's just a super perfected human being. And yet she lumps him in with the rest of them. And yeah, that didn't strike me in the first few issues, but it strikes me here in this speech of hers, as she's critiquing him. He's really not that far. He's closer to us than perhaps he is to Thor or Hulk or Spider-Man.
Yeah, I could buy that. Yeah. I guess was more curious about her statement that the rest of us are never going to step up if you and your lot ensure that we never have to. Like, are super beings holding back regular everyday humans like us because we're just like, we don't need to evolve. We don't need to worry about this or that. We have these type of people who handle those types of problems for us.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't have an answer for that. I think it's a valid question, right? And of course, we'll never know the answer to it until superheroes are wiped out. So
that's my excuse, Bob. I've got superheroes holding me back. That's why I'm still emotionally stunted.
I have cats.
Oh, okay.
They hold me back. So I get a lot more done, but they spend a lot of time on my lap, and I don't want to make them get up.
Yeah. All right. So while I was doing this story on the second page, there's a couple of panels going on. One is the Paladins. Now, where we left off at the end of issue 4 was they had in the apartment complex 51 unconscious sitting at a table with a pistol in front of them. And then they were all kind of like drawing, who was going to be the one who kills them. And it looks like
Prima Donna.
Yeah, Prima Donna is the one. Now she has a pistol to his head, and she looks kind of sad.
She looks torn.
Yeah.
She definitely.
And then other paladins, Vox is standing there. You can't really see kind of what emotion he's going through. But then you've got the Prairie Girl.
Pioneer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She looks fret. She looks fret with
Yeah.
Right. And then we've got the globe dude.
Fishbowl. Yeah. Think tank.
Yeah. He's got his back to it. Like he doesn't want to watch. So then we cut over to Iron Man, who is flying through the sky, and he's talking to his AI. Boss, I want everyone who's not on the top floor of the Paladin's apartment building evacuated now. Sending out automated alerts. Warning, Myrmidon's located. Let me know if they get too close, but right now, 51 is our priority. Patch me through to Steve. Tony, I'm here with Veronica Eden. The Paladins, I know. They're the bad guys. They're going to kill 51 to cover it up. I'm on my way over now. They set him up to be the villain that they could beat so they could stay in the news cycle. You were right about that. No, I saw them as overeager glory hounds, not this. You've got to stop them, Tony. On it. And there he is flying to the apartment, and he's getting to that floor. And just when you think he's about to crash through, on the next page, it's actually the Meridians that Boss had warned Tony about. Destroy target. And they come through, and Pioneer says, what in tarnation are those things doing here? Destroy the alien. And just then, Prima Donna says, wait, they're here to kill 51? Hey, that's fine. You go right ahead. We're not going to stop you. But from behind and from the other direction, don't mind me. Uh-oh. Damn it. Darn. Just make it painless, okay? Wait, what are you guys? Oh, hell. And then just then, you see Iron Man holding up 51. Steve, the Meridians are after 51 too. He must pose a threat. Is he conscious? Just about. And then the 51's talking to Iron Man. And of course, we can't make it out because it's in some sort of alien language. He says he made some modifications to your armor, Steve. Use the right gauntlet to shut down the helicarrier's automatic defenses. Wait, you can understand him now? Wait, I can understand you now? And he looks at 51. And then on the next page, we're back to Cap and Veronica. Huh, this is impressive. My HUD just lit up. I think I can override the Overseer's control and steer the helicarrier. Maybe crash it into the side of a mountain. Excuse me? Steer it this way, Steve. We're coming to you. Are you talking to me? If you're not talking to me, tell me. Damn it. 51's telepathy works on machines better than it does organics. He's pretty sure he could break into the Overseer's operating core and end this whole thing. Not all of us have those earpieces, you know. What you're doing is pretty beep rude. Sorry, bucketheads. Looks like I'll be taking all my anger out on. And then as she's firing up against the Meridians, some short circuits go on her tentacles, and she falls off of her glider. And just then, a Meridian's about to come on top of her, but Cap's shield comes out and hits the Meridian in the head and makes a noise. Bob, long live the new tech, long live. And then Cap comes with his armor because he's flying with the jet boots. Is there no end to these things? You might be invisible to the helicarrier sensors, but I'm not. They're tracking you by tracking me. We should split up. You'd be better off alone. And miss a golden opportunity to show you the error of your ways? You're not going to save me, Cap. I don't need to be saved. Just because you see yourself as the good guy doesn't mean I'm the villain. In the grand scheme of humanity's long-term well-being, you're the bad guy. I could see why you would come to that conclusion. And do you have a riposte? The blunt, honest truth is that we're here, and it's too late to do anything about it. And he starts taking off his armor. This didn't start with Abram Erskine injecting me with super soldier serum. It didn't start with Reed Richards building a spaceship. It didn't start with mutants or the gamma bomb. People with superpowers. We're inevitable. This is a wondrous universe filled with astonishing creatures, none more so than humanity. Superheroes, as we're called, we were on the horizon from the very beginning. Then you need to be controlled. Anyone who controls us would use us. So what? You don't even bother? We need to control ourselves, each of us, as individuals, working harder to wield our power more responsibly. Can you really be that naive? You think that's all it's going to take? Now, in the meantime, one of the Meridians is approaching him, and Cap's just nonchalantly taking off his armor. His shield's on the ground. He figures Veronica's got this handled, and she does. She uses her tentacles to make short work of the Meridian. When you were first taught how to kill someone with your bare hands, how did it feel? Powerful? Excited? Or were you terrified at the realization that a life could be taken so easily? That's what this is, or at least what it should be. This kind of power brings with it a duty to wield it only when necessary, and only in defense of the innocent. Coming in hot. Roger that, Tony. We'll meet you at the overseer's giant head. So we cut to that next page, and there they are, the overseer's giant head, and it's Iron Man holding a injured 51, walking towards it, and then shortly joined by Cap and Veronica behind them. You dare. I am the ultimate evolution of machine kind. I am the future. I am progress made mechanical. I was built to shepherd you silly little humans toward a destiny you can barely imagine. My plans for you are immense. I am the new tech. Yeah, Ultron would eat you alive. You're a bleep. 51's going to have a chat with you now. You stay away from me. And then 51 says something which I don't understand. Meridians to me. Veronica, stop him. We had something good, something real. Don't let them do this. I'll make you a queen. I'm already a queen. Bleep. Stay away from me. Stay away. Meridian, save me. They're killing your god. Save me. Save. And then his voice turns into the same dialect of 51. And then all of a sudden the Meridians, which came running towards him, stop. And they're all kind of at a, frozen, standing still. Why do they stop moving? And then we hear a new voice. Meridians, you are released. And they just fly away. Got to admit, ending this particular jaunt without a big fight is a nice change of pace. But we can't just let them go, can we? I mean, they're still We're not the bad guys. And who's there, Bob?
There they are, the Paladins.
Yeah. But you're going to treat us like bad guys, aren't you? You're going to throw us in jail. You've got to understand, we can't just let that happen. You know what we got to do, right? Yeah, kid. We know. And then the next page is a over half-page splash of them fighting. And we hear Veronica, and she's just standing there watching the whole thing. They know they're beaten, but they give it their best shot. It's as admirable as it is stupid. Senator Baker, he recognized their need to be more than what they were when he told me he found our first team. The plans we had for these folks, pitting them against specially chosen Hydra squads, getting their names out there, giving them some early wins, they're going to have an easy ride of it. But things change. Plans get rewritten. You learn to roll with the punches, or you get flattened. Pity, they were relatively nice kids when things were going their way. Vox had the makings of a real leader. Prima Donna could have been one of the greats if she just learned to get over her own insecurities. Think Tank was nothing but potential. And Pioneer? Hell, I'm still not even sure what Pioneer's power is. Something about ghosts? And then this is the 2 pages of Cap and Iron Man battling them and taking them out. And Vox says, "This isn't fair. We weren't given a chance to prove ourselves." And his hands sparkling, but Cap takes his shield and hits it on his forearm. Every second of every day is your chance to prove yourself, kid. Not everyone is cut out for this line of work. Not everyone with the power has a necessary sense of responsibility. There's a young man I could have introduced you to. You'd spend the day with him. You'd understand. Between the jokes and the swinging around, you'd understand. But you don't get to spend the day with that young man. You were tested and found wanting. And Cap punches Vox out. 51, you ready to come back out now? Hello, Mr. Stark. 51, Overseer. I am experiencing an odd sensation. I have corridors and bulkheads and eyes and an overwhelming ambivalence towards the human race. Whether this ambivalence will mutate into something sterner remains, I think, to be seen. I think you should come back to us, 51. I'm sorry, Captain. I need time to process my new state. Please vacate my being. We can't do that. I understand your dilemma. However, it was not a request. And then just then, the entire floor opens up, Bob.
Hate when that happens.
Everyone, Cap, Iron Man, Veronica, the Paladins, they all go flying out into the sky because, again, they were on a helicarrier. As they're all falling, Iron Man can fly, but not everybody can. So who's helping out is Veronica Eden on her glider as she starts to grab the others. All I wanted to do was make the world a better place. Yeah, I plan to kill every last superhero and supervillain to do it, but there's this whole thing about omelets and eggs that I think is applicable. Point being, my intentions were honorable, even if my methods were downright nasty. That being the case, I really don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Maybe I'm getting soft. Or maybe it just doesn't make sense that the best of them should have to die if the rest of them are still walking around. Alive, he can be the symbol he was always meant to be. Maybe he can teach them to be better. Now, of course, she's referring to Cap, who has a smile on his face as he's looking back at Veronica, almost like I'm pleased. If he could spare the time after wiping that smug smile off his face. And then we cut to the next page. Tony Stark's apartment days later. And Tony's there and there's a knock on the door. Tony comes and there's Steve and his civvies, got a white t-shirt, some jeans, and he's holding 2 coffees, Bob. Thought you might like a coffee. Thanks. Want to come in? Put the world to rights? Solve all of our problems over a cup of joe? Solve them? No. Talk about them? Sure. You're definitely being weird lately. Steve sits down. The fascist version of me thought he had all the answers. I'm determined never to be that presumptuous. Any word on the helicarrier? Veronica? The helicarrier's cloak is proving to be annoyingly effective, and Veronica already gave her new jailers the slip. She'd been trained to disappear. Though with her allies taken down and her enemies closing in, wherever she is, she's alone. And do you have any idea if she was already a Hydra agent when you got her in the front door at S.H.I.E.L.D.? You know what? I never asked. I doubt she would have been straight with me even if I had. She's a remarkable person, Steve. But we've known a lot of remarkable people, and we know how they end up. Either wielding the power they're so desperate to seize, or being crushed by it. Now, the whole time this conversation is going on, we see a Veronica Eden wearing a scarf and a mask and some hat and glasses, and she's walking in the inner city. She cuts into an alley, and she's all alone. And then coming up behind her, there's a voice. Nowhere to go, Miss Eden? And we turn to the last page, and it's a splash. And the whole page is one big panel. And it's a character standing over her. And she turns around, looks, and she goes, Zemo. Bleep.
Oh, that's great.
We turn to the next page. I'll get to that in a minute. All right, Bob. So what'd you think?
I'm super stoked, Rick. This was a great story, and I really like Veronica Eden.
I don't know. She's great, right?
I don't know where they're going with her. I mean, let's face it. Cap in the past has helped redeem a number of superheroes, villains, not villains, but bad guys who went on to become Avengers. Right? I mean, I don't know what's in Veronica Eden's future, but who knows, right? It could go in either direction at this point.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, let's take a look at those, right? I mean, there was a point, the quirky quartet, right, in the Avengers was Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver, all reformed villains that Cap led. And then there's many more over the decades, or stories, I should say. So yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of that's sort of the vibe I was getting during her sort of reflection as they were falling through the air, and she was using the Doc Ock arms to rescue everybody while Cap was smiling smugly up at her, right? But it could go in a completely different direction.
Yeah. She's a fun character, and I like the way this writer Landy writes her. And then she was introduced in the Falcon and Winter Soldier miniseries, which came out a couple years ago. And if you have not read that, we recommend you do. You can also check out our podcast, episode 27, where we covered the miniseries. So check out podcast 27 if you want to catch Veronica Eden's introduction and that writer's take on Sam and Bucky. But yeah, I agree with you, Bob. She I think she makes a better villain than she would a hero.
I do as well. Yeah.
I think she's more intriguing that way.
Yeah. She's got a lot of potential to straddle that line, sort of an anti-hero as well. So yeah, I don't know.
And always the more interesting villains are the ones who see themselves as heroes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So a couple other things going on inside this issue. So the very end, it says Captain America will return this April in Captain America 0, which is cool because I think that comes out next week. After this podcast airs, I think this Captain America 0 comes out. So that's good timing. And then, and also Iron Man's adventures continue this month, Iron Man 18. But then earlier in this issue, there was a double page advertisement. This one, which is for Captain America 0. And it says, 2 captains, 2 shields, 1 dream. A new era of Captain America begins here. Captain America 0. Then it has on the left the Alex Ross cover of Steve kneeling while having some sort of fire come down on top of him. And he's holding his shield above his head to protect himself. And then that's going to be, I think, the Alex Ross cover to the Steve Rogers series. And then on the right-hand side is Alex Ross have Sam Wilson in his uniform and that in his Captain America uniform flying in the night sky and with Red Wing and looks like going over the New York harbor here with the bridge and everything. And it says, who the creators are, right? So we have Tochi Onyebuchi, who's going to end up being the writer for the Sam series. Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing, I think are the writers for the Steve series. I could be wrong. Anyway, looking forward to that.
So looking forward to it. Feels like it's been a while, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. So
here's an interesting question, Bob. And I think this also was asked on the Facebook group. The last Captain America series for Steve ended, I think was issue 30.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And it was volume 9.
Yeah.
Right. Of Captain America. And it had legacy numbering on it. But now we've got a Steve series and we have a Sam series.
Mm-hmm.
Are either of those considered part of the legacy numbering?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you addressed this in the Facebook group about the Sam series. Probably would not, because they haven't.
Well, I corrected myself.
Did you?
I made a mistake. Yeah, it turns out because I went and picked up back when 695 was coming out.
Yeah.
They had a little like an ad, that showed legacy numbering.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And the 2 Sam series were actually part of that legacy numbering.
Both of them were, really?
Yeah, yeah. So it went so All New Captain America, which was that 6-issue miniseries with Sam.
Yeah.
That's part of the legacy numbering. And then Sam Wilson Captain America, which came out in 2015, 1 through 24. That's part of the legacy numbering.
So what are we up to now? Off the top of your head?
So the last part of the legacy numbering for issue 30 was legacy 734.
734. Okay. All right.
So it'll be interesting to see which of these 2 series, if one or the other or neither or both are part of this legacy numbering. Maybe we should have Alana Smith on.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe she can answer that question for us.
I am a little confused, at the so it seems like the Sam Wilson Cap book is coming out earlier.
1 month earlier, yes.
Yeah. So
and listen, the marketing guy in me understands that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Steve is always going to be the more popular book.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have Captain America starved fans, give them the Sam book because the Captain America starved fans will pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do it second, they're less likely to pick it up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, if I was a marketing guy for Marvel, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
So they have the Zero that has both of them. Yeah. Then the Sam series comes out in May or kicks off in May.
Yeah.
And the Steve series kicks off in June.
All right. And it's and how many issues were they supposed to be?
They haven't announced that this is a limited series. It seems like they're both ongoing series.
It seems like they're both ongoing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, listen, Marvel and Disney have to coexist, right? Like with Chris Evans no longer being part of the Marvel universe, and you have Sam Wilson as Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you can't have him ignored.
Right. Yeah.
And, there's a demand. There is a demand out there for Sam Wilson as Captain America.
Right.
So it would be foolish for Marvel to not have a Sam Cap book.
Yeah.
That said, you can't not have a Steve Cap book, for too long a time.
Too long. Right.
Right. Yeah. So now they're going to coexist, which is strange.
It is strange, but.
And they've made a good point over the last few years of Cap referring to others as Cap, like the whole United States of Captain America.
Yeah. He
was like, hey, Cap, like he was calling others Captain America.
Right.
Whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to, but I get it.
Yeah. 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 I think, I mean, it would seem silly, I think, to go back to the whole, all right, I'm going to take off this uniform and put back on my, Secret Avengers uniform again. And, it's been done. Maybe, try something different.
That we will. All right. So, Bob, we are going to go to the 70s. I'm going to go back to the 70s, Bob. What do you think about that?
All right, let's do it.
Right before Steve Englehart took over the book, and I want to say, right, that was with issue 153 in 1972. There was a 4-issue fill-in by writer Jerry Conway. And these are kind of throwaway tales, right? Like people kind of like, I mean, it was right after Gary Friedrich did his little run, and then Steve Englehart came on, and then Conway came in and did these 4 issues. I think it'd be fun, Bob, to do issue 149 and 150, which is like a 2-part story. And it's one of those kooky early 70s stories, Bob. We've got Batroc Zeliba and Batroc's Brigade, which is a new brigade, right?
Yeah.
And then that's in the first part of the story. And then the second part of the story is about these alien race, so it had like a space story with the stranger and Jakar, and it just typical early 70s.
Yeah.
Let's have a little fun and go back to that time period.
That's all right. I'm breaking out my corduroy bell bottoms for the next show.
Oh, very
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. Well, then we will be back for that next episode, which will be episode 81. All right, Bob. So as always, it's been fun wrapping cap with you.
It has. And I appreciate it. You are a nightingale, my friend.
Uh-huh. Well, Bob, I want you to know I meant every word of that song.
I appreciate that.
You are the wind beneath my wings.
Same, bro.
All right. Well, he's Bob Lucius. I'm Rick Verbanis, and you've been listening to another episode of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast.